Shabbat Shalom to all of you. We're getting to this portion, Bamidbar. And you know, this portion for me is very important. Why? Because it's my bar mitzvah portion. And you know, I had known for a long time, and I cherish. And it's interesting. But it's interesting, something is happening to me. Every year, something new I can get. It's exciting that how I can get some more. You think, oh, I already know everything about this portion, and something new keeps coming. Now, the way that this book starts, you know, it is, and it's going to give you a date. The first thing I need to tell you, I'll repeat myself. The Torah is not chronological. If we use a little bit of the Greek mentality, I will say the Torah is more topological. No, topics that will show. But has the Torah in itself, because it's not a book, the whole Torah. It's not a book of history, it's not a book of science, it's not a book of laws or things like that we want to portray. It's a book of life based on principles. And these principles need to be learned how to apply. At this time of the year, we are close to this festival. Now for us, tomorrow we are going to be celebrating, tonight and tomorrow, Shavuot, no? The festival of the weeks. According to our sages, on Shavuot, we receive the tablets, the 10 words of the 10 commandments. And it's very special. And it's celebrated in a special way because it's the first fruit that you bring to the Creator, finally when you have been in the land. You know, this festival is celebrated when you are in the land. And after a while that you have received the first fruits, and you all dedicated to the Creator. And what is the basic festival that we celebrate today? What do we do in Shavuot? What are the elements that we use to celebrate? You know, milk, a little bit of honey, you know, sweets and dairy. That is to tell us only these ideas about what do we do. But the Torah in itself is a wonderful and delicious, what do you call it, like a dessert, you know, that you enjoy to have it. And there is a lot of things that come from there. In these 10 commandments, believe me or not, even the rabbis that will tell you, our sages that will tell you, all the Torah is there. In these 10 commandments, all the Torah is there. You can apply with these 10 commandments. Now, in this parasha, beginning with Bamidbar, I told you that it's not chronological because he started in the second month of the second year. And in chapter 9, you go back to the first month of the second year. And going to go hand by hand with Vayikra, Leviticus. You know, and then they superpose one with the other. And it's telling you that it's not chronological, but it's going to give you certain issues and certain topics to develop. But here is something very interesting. It's about what I call it order, counting, and roles. Okay? Ordering, counting, and roles. You know, we see in this community, each one of us, according to Psalms 139, we have been made in a marvelous way. Each one of us are uniquely made. There are not two of us. There's only one of us. Even when you have identical twins, they are different. Okay? There is something different. Then each one of us is important in the eyes of our Creator. Blessed be His name. And He is the one that has put in us His Ruach, His Spirit. We have, all of us, all humanity without exception, has been created by him, you know? And here it doesn't matter which race do you belong, doesn't matter which part of the world do you live, and doesn't matter which religion do you have. All of us, we are his creation, you know? And there are no one creation better than the other. As sometimes we teach wrongly. There are no one better than the other in the sense of the creation. What happened is the outcome. That's what I'm going to differentiate us. And each one has a role. Now, beginning with Bamidbar, what it means Bamidbar? It's a very interesting word, a Hebrew word. You know, has so many speculation about the word and how it's composed and how it's made. You know, the basic word, dabar, the Bamidbar, you know, means word, and at the same time means nothingness, nothing. You know, and some of the all what they call it, the Hebraists, they look at the etymology of the word sometimes, they even say that means a shepherd. I don't know why they come with this idea, but that's what I have heard. You know? But the interesting thing is that Bamidbar brings the idea of desert or wilderness. And the first thing that we need to think about is what the Creator is trying to give us here. What is the picture they want to give us to us? We are, and in the way they in the first day of the second month of the second year, after we have went out of Egypt, the Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness or in the desert of Sinai or Sinai. You know, they were there on the mountains, or not the Sinai, and they were in the bottom side, and they were camping there. For 2 years they have been camping there. And the idea is that now it's time for Israel to prepare themselves in the journey, and the next year, in the journey toward the promised land. They are in a very short distance. According to Isaiah, they were no farther than 10 days away. Others say 13 days, whatever, even 20 days. But how close they were. And this is the time that you're going to see later on that Moshe Rabbeinu is going to send their scouts to check for the land. And because of that, we are going to see how we lost our directions and took us 40 years more, or 38 more years to be able to get in the promised land, and was not the generation who came out of Egypt, but it was the second generation. There are a lot of things that we can grasp for us individually. And my desire during this time has been to make the Torah personal. What the Creator has for me now. What is teaching through all these things now. He said, first of all, he is going to make a counting or a census. He's going to count the heads of the tribes. And he's going to start counting the 12 tribes of Israel, with the exception of the tribe of Levi. Okay? Because at that time now there were already 13 tribes. They are adding the tribe of Ephraim and Manasseh that we just read it this morning. These 12 tribes are going to be the Sabaoth, the army of Israel. And they were going to be counted, the men, the head men, at the age of 20 years old. Okay? And at the 20 years old, they were going to be counting all the men, and they were going to make the number of the people they have for the army. Now, what I mean the army, Sebaot? You know, this is something that's interesting. When you are called to be a soldier, you know, they make it to swear that you are going to protect your nation, your state. Well, in Israel, was that each man who will get in the army will be responsible for the welfare, not only of his neighbor, but of the whole Israel. Each one, all of us, we were responsible for Israel. Then, to be a soldier, you were willing to give your life for Israel. Then, later on, we see that those ones who they are fainted heart or lose heart, they don't need to come in. Those ones who just got married, they don't need to come in. You know, there is a lot of these positions. They are very clever and very logical. Because you do not want to go to a war, for example, with people that are cowards. You know, because that will destroy the whole ambiance that we call it, you know, of the army. You need, and why 20 years old? It's demonstrated by psychology. Younger you are less aware of the life and death. Older that you get, you are more careful not to die. You know? The young people, they say they have life forever. Older people say, my life is very short. I need to take care of it. Yeah? They feel invincible. You know, the younger you are, more courageous. You can see the most of the accidents is among young people, you know, because they don't think. They think they're going to live forever. Anyway, if I tell you what I used to do when I was young, you won't believe me. And now I think back and I start shaking, you know, and I am still alive. Well, here is the 12. And then he's going to make a division. He's going to make a division with one tribe, the Levites, the Leviim. And this is a tribe that won't inherit anything. Totally the contrary. It's going to be distributed among the 12 tribes. And the 12 tribes are going to serve, they're going to provide to these people, but these people are going to serve the tribe, bringing them the Torah, the teachings, and all these things, and the information from the Creator. It's interesting because it's an order. Now, every tribe is interesting. Is going to form a place. They're going to. The Lord is going to order them to have a camp, the camp that they are going to form, and the tribes themselves, they are going to have an order. It's not that you're going to put anything around. I have here more or less the way. First of all, Jacob's children, they were by 4 wives. Okay? Leah, Silpah, Rachel, and Bilhah. Now, Leah has the first 4 children. You know, they had Reuben, Shimeon, Levi, and Judah. After that, Rachel got upset that she didn't have, and she gave to Abraham Avinu his nurse, or his, her companion, you know, Bilhah. And with Bilhah, Abraham Avinu didn't waste his time and has two children, Dan and Naphtali. Then, Leah sees that and bring her own helper, Silpah, and Abraham Avinu Jacob Avinu, sorry, he was very obedient, okay, and he had 2 children with Silpah, Gad and Asher, and it was not enough. Then Leah has 3 more children, Issachar, Zebulun, and finally Dinah. Don't call it Dinah, it's Dinah, okay? Dinah. Well, poor Rachel, no children. Finally, the Creator opened her womb, and she had two children, Joseph and Benjamin, who was the youngest. Now, you know the story about Joseph, and Joseph was giving double portion, and this double portion, was two tribes, the Ephraim and Manasseh. And now you know why not 12 but 13. Okay, it's very interesting. You will be able to look more about this. But this is the composition of the tribe. Then in the east, you have Judah with Issachar and Zebulun. Then in the second group will be the oldest brother, Reuben, that he will be looking to the south with Gad and Shimeon. Interesting here, Judah has the two children of the youngest children of Leah, and then Reuben is going to have Gad, who is the son of Silpah, and then and Shimeon, his second brother. The third group is going to be Ephraim, and Ephraim is going to have his brother Manasseh, and then also the youngest brother of Joseph and Rachel, of the Rachel and Jacob, Benjamin. And finally, the fourth group that is going to the north is Dan, who has Asher and Naphtali. Interestingly enough, this tribe of the north, all of them are the children of the concubines. This is the order. But that's not only that. That is the circle around, and there is inner circle. And the inner circle is going to be with the Leviim, the Levites. In four groups. Levi has three sons: Gershon, Kehat, and Merari. And from Kehat, the second son, is going to come an offshoot, Aaron. And Aaron is going to form one of the groups, and they are going to be the Kohanim. I can tell you about each one had a role that you can read it. Each one has a function, what to do. And one of the things there is a principle here that is very open. I call you about order, and I call you to have the role and to see what you are as a person. And one of the things that you need to look at here is that our Creator is going to teach us that when He creates you, He put in you a calling on your nefesh, on your soul. And it's up to you to find it. And when you are in the right position, and you are in the right place, everything goes okay. But when you are in the wrong place, you are in the wrong position. Instead, to do it right, you do it wrong. In physics, let me put it in this way. You have waves, in the energy. And these waves are transmitted. When the waves goes in the same direction, everything is okay. And even they increase themselves. But when the waves come against each other and are the same wavelengths, what they do is destroy each other. And to me, it was interesting to see the same thing when I do counseling for couples. I teach them that if you go in the same direction, you are going to be fruitful and you multiply. But if you go in totally different directions, you are destroying your own home. Today, we teach this idea that is so popular in all the world. You know, you are an individual and you don't need to be aligned to anybody. You know, and you can be whatever you want to do. Even if you are married, you don't need to follow your husband, or the husband doesn't need to follow their wife. They don't need to submit to each other in any way. But each one can do their own things. And what happened? There is not direction. And there is what we call a chaos. It's a chaotic system. Okay? And it's very destructive. This is the reason why the Creator wants order. And everybody has a function. And you don't do your function. Let me put it this way, because today is no kosher anymore. Even among ourselves, the Jewish people. We are surrender ourselves to the world instead to follow Torah. Torah teaches that we have been created, male and female. That's very obvious. There's no other way. But at the new modern idea, it is there is no difference between man and female. By the way, I'm going to tell you, you need to be blind if you don't see the difference. Okay? Okay? There must be something wrong in your head or in your eyes. Because there is a difference. It's a physical difference, but more than physical difference, it's an inside difference. Not because I am not talking about superiority. I am not talking about intelligence. I am not talking about capabilities. I am not talking about those things. I am talking about that our nature is different. And because our nature is different, what is the greatest role? The greatest role of the woman. Today is an insult. Today is an insult to tell a woman, you are in these feminist groups, and you tell a woman that the main role of the woman will be to be a mother, they get upset with you. What, I cannot be a woman if I don't have brains, I don't have... No, nobody's saying to you how you were made. What is your physical conditions? How you were created in that way. Because you don't, that's not, the men could be mothers too. It's impossible. It is impossible. This is why it's so important about role. Not about superiority or better off or being smarter. That's what is the measure of the Creator. The Creator is about that each one. You know, how you ask yourself, why the Leviim were the only one that could work in the, pick up the things in the temple, because that's what it is, in Mishkan, and why only the Kohanim could do the Avodah Mishkan, the service in the temple? What's wrong? What's wrong with the other tribes? What's wrong with the other Jews? They were not capable or intelligent enough to know or to learn the different functions. Later on, we are going to see what happened with Korach. Korach was from the tribe of Kehai. He was from the same tribe as Aaron. And not only that, but he was even older. He had more rights. And why the Creator choose Aaron and not me? What is one of the Ten Commandments? What the Ten Commandments say to us, the 10 words? Don't envy you. If you have a position, it's for a reason. Don't be looking over your shoulder what the other has. You will be the most miserable person in the world if you start looking and comparing with others. I always say to people, if you want to compare with somebody, compare it with yourself. But here is the final, what the application of this parasha for us today that have been seen. You know, our God is, and will be smarter than all of us because he made us and he created us. And when he makes an order, when he makes a section, there is a reason even if we do not understand it. You know, I was asked about we have mitzvot, we have hukim and mishpatim. And the hukim are ordinances that the Creator has given to us, and we do not have a logical explanation. And that's what I'll say, Stella. I'm going to tell you, one day we are going to completely understand those hukim. But still now, there is something there that opens our eyes. For example, the Shabbat. That is a hukim. You know, almost the logic say, yes, we need a time of rest. And the fifth word, honor your father and your mother. You know, give us an idea about the Creator brought us and give us life. He's our father. And he's our mother too. And you know, and you're a very curious person, read the names of that are mentioned in here. In the 12 tribes, read the names and try to find the meanings. And there are several Shaddais with the ending of Shaddai. And the term Shaddai, that is being translated as all Almighty, you know, comes from the basic word shad, that means breast. And the idea is breastfeeding, nurturing. Our Creator nurtured us. And those beautiful pictures that we can see in the scripture, and to speak to us, that the Creator doesn't make difference between one gender and the other, but we have different functions. The Creator doesn't make difference between the tribes and the Levians. What I mean, they give it to them different functions. And when you have a function and you try to be something else, I can assure you that you are going to be defeated. Look for what the Creator has put in you. Look the areas that you enjoy to do. When I used to be a professor in the university, I had the opportunity to talk to a lot of young people that they were looking directions in their careers. And to me, it was very exciting to talk to them about how they could point it to in their lives. And I will ask them, what do you like to do? What motivates you? What excites you? Not I need to do. No, I am not asking you what you need to do. I am asking you what really moves you. What is your interest? What is your passion? And you're going to see that that is going to give you a direction in your lives. You know? Don't listen sometimes to people say, oh, you can be good for this. No. I can be good what I want to do, what I need to do. Yes, you need advice from others, but it is you, the person who needs to make that decision. Don't allow other people to make decisions for you. And it's that my desire that all of us will learn from here. Our Creator gave us a role, gave us a place, gave us a position. Now we need to start from there. Each one of us is precious on his eyes, and each one of us, we are important on his eyes. Let's do our best. Shabbat Shalom.